And
Okay.
here I'm recording, so we're going for this coaching session. Okay, so let's skip through the loading screen. So we're turn 1, right? Yes, we are turn 1, so you will usually buy everything in most cases. So right now it doesn't matter too much. Turn 1 doesn't matter too much. You're checking people do this sometimes in high elo lobbies, but usually it doesn't matter too much. The thing that you should be going for is your region. The first thing you should be going is what region you are here, you are in, because that actually indicates you what comp you are accessible to you and what are not. In this patch, it's especially important to be looking for that early on rather than other boards. Okay, and here is the first key moment. So, did you watch sometimes my guides and videos?
Yeah.
Okay, so something that you have seen me do is always going for 10 golds on turn 2. Did you notice that?
Yeah, yeah, I did it.
Okay, so the reason why this is extremely important is that actually, if you get to this 1 gold right now, then next turn you will be able to have 20 golds instead
20.
of
I know, I
19,
know.
and then it will be 30 instead of 29, and after that it will be 40 instead of 39. This is less of a thing dispatch, because if you keep winning, you gain the win gold before you skip the to next turn, which wasn't the case before. So you can do the same thing as TFT and just bet on your win and get this 1 gold that you spend back. Right? This is something that is
Yeah.
a lot
You
on
can
TFT.
buy one more unit, no?
Yeah,
Now.
you can buy 1 more unit if you win because you will get 1 more gold.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a thing before. But if you actually play the chain loose, and sometimes we do not have the choice, then getting this 1 more gold at turn 2 is actually, I would say, it's one of the most important gold in the entire game. People are usually
Okay.
underestimating it. I see Crabhammer never doing this, for example. I think it is one of his personal flaws. He always goes for more units rather than more money, but maybe he just has too much game knowledge at this point, so he can play every comp in the game. But I would always play for econ. This is my personal style. So I would really. I wanted to explain why I think it is important. So you do not underestimate the impact of such a gold, because it snowballs very hard. So I noticed you get the mana, then you get some armor. You take the stone, and I see these 3 components. If I put the sound on, you will hear me say, "Oh, this is a good sound starter." And I noticed you trying to go for sound early, and unfortunately, you couldn't really go for this plan.
Yeah, I don't see the EV early and I don't commit. I know. I don't know.
That's perfectly fine. You had a lot of options. I noticed you wanting to go for sound, but sound and grass were the 2 options that you had available. So here you get the Flabébé. So that's 1 sound unit, but you have no others. I'm getting a call, I will ignore that. It is probably not a call for me anyway, because I will answer to that later. Okay, so berry tree takes actually 3 turns to activate. Do you click the berry tree just to get the habit of okay, excuse me, I will probably, if it calls a second time, I will answer this time.
Okay.
It's a name that I recognize, but it is not my phone, so it is not a call for me, and the person that the call is for isn't at home, so it doesn't matter too much. So right now is
I
probably,
don't play. This was a misplay because I want to take the seed to play
yes.
down, but
I'm
other players block me and I take the charcoal.
Yes, this is
So
something
so I
that's,
didn't play that because of this.
yeah. It's not really a mistake. It's this guy that pushed you, so that's something you can't really avoid. You could have gone below him,
Yeah, yeah, I
and
know.
of
But
course the seed was the play here, but I think it is not dramatic, even though even though the seed was so much better, you've got pushed. That's something that you can't really avoid too easily. So right now what's important is adapting to the situation, because you wanted the seed, you didn't get it, which actually gets you a really hard time at playing sound. But you can evolve this sky plume, so honestly switching onto grass isn't too bad either. The two options are still available though. I don't think AD is that bad in a South comp. You need some of these components to have damage early on.
You level here and take 2 books, or not?
Can you repeat that, please? Sorry.
You would level there in that situation to
level up. I think leveling up here, if you do not sell any units, doesn't cost you anything. Technically you go to 12 gold, so you still keep that 1 gold of interest, but maybe you cannot get the 20 gold threshold next turn if you do this. So it's either you really want to go for a full-on chain win, and you believe that your board can be strong enough to go for a chain win, or you just accept losses.
Okay, but if you want to do chain win, you would commit items, and I don't want to commit items there.
Exactly. If I want to chain win, then I just go full on for the chain win. I buy the XP, I put 4 grass units on this board, and I just play for the win. If not, I just play for the lose and I accept the loss. Losing, you do not lose too much HP early on in this game, so it's perfectly fine to go for a big chain lose. Becomes riskier in a higher level, but even there, people still chain lose and just come back. So here we take the seed, right? Definitely. Take the seed over anything else. So this is either the Stardust if you play Sound with a Fairy Stone, or it is the Leaf Stone if you play Grass. The two options are on the table right now. It really depends on what you prefer. With these components, both compositions are actually alright. Both compositions would like some better components, but they are not unplayable. So here you cannot read chain loose because of this F-core. This is how it is. So you just break your chain. And here I see you pretty much... I don't know if you're showing me that you want to play sound, or if you are looking at what sound unit would be available.
Yeah, what units are available?
Okay, so here there's the Kakuna. And I think right now the Kakuna is when you make your decision.
I win the last round, and now I take a Kakuna and a grass stone, so I can keep my winning, I think.
Yes. Okay, so I can agree with that. If you want to keep winning, you go level 5 here.
Yeah.
So
I didn't I think.
I
didn't do it.
But yes, you probably didn't. But it is an okay thing to do. I think I wouldn't have done that personally. I would have accepted losses because you had another plan in mind. So it's either you completely change your plans right now, you abandon the sound and go for Kakuna, or you keep playing your plan and see how things go. The game played very well, but I think overall Kakuna is mostly a bait in a lot of situations. I don't value the unit too much. So here you play it. You actually give it... you do not even have to give it a leaf stone.
Yeah.
So you can still keep... by the way, do you know that you can sell units with E?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know.
So avoid dragging the units if you can. That's a waste of time in the later parts of the game.
Okay.
Here it doesn't matter too much because you do not have so many things to do. But later, when you have to roll 16 times a turn, it takes a while. Okay, so here we go level 5. If you want to chain win, we go level 5. If you want to chain lose, we don't. This is entirely your decision. You can go for... here, you can completely go for a chain win. You go level 5, put grass 5 on the bench, start stacking berries, and you won't lose a round for a while, because grass is just that strong.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That's you left. So
Okay.
you could completely go for grass 5 here. That would be an okay option.
Yeah, I
6
take out in
units.
the Flavebe and put 5 brass.
Yes, exactly. Because
Okay.
you do not even have floral activated. So Flabebe doesn't matter here. It's
Yeah.
actually a very weak unit, Flabebe, giving you mana, but outside of the Soundpocalypse setup, it is actually a very weak unit. Soundpocalypse setup being Sound 6 giving mana to Flabebe, so mana gives mana. So Flabebe gives mana to the comp, then the comp gives mana to Flabebe over and over and over. Outside of this setup, it is a weak unit. So here, do we win this? I don't think we do,
No, no,
right?
no, no,
I
no,
don't
no,
think
no.
we do. This is
I lose and I sell the Trico.
yeah.
I was waiting if I can get 1 gold and keep the Trico, but
It is a good decision. Actually, if you lose, then you play your econ and you accept the chain lose. If you win, then you just break your econ and you play the chain win. But losing, selling the unit, it is an acceptable thing to do. That is a
yeah, okay.
two double wins, a lose streak. If you lose a third time, then you go into the PvE round with a three lose streak. So this is completely okay, econ wise. So here you take the attack speed. I agree with this. Attack speed could make you a Gracidia if you want to go for Shaming later, which doesn't happens this game. I think you made the right decision not to take Shaming, by the way. But here I will also go for this component. It's versatile, really useful. The EV. So right now, personal opinion, EV with Leafstone is stronger than Bug 2.
Okay.
EV with Leafstone is extremely strong. It
I
instantly
get
gets
Flora too. Okay.
So EV, once given the Leafstone, is a 2-cost unit that has 180 HP. That's a lot for a 2-cost. And that actually gives AD to your entire grass comp. And the reason why it matters is because grass only gives you tankiness, right? So you want to get as many damage sources as you can
Okay.
to
Okay.
complement that. And EV is actually a really good source of damage. And it is floral unit too. Leafeon is actually floral.
Yeah, I know.
So this is why the unit is so precious. You pretty much want to sell it later to give the stone to a better unit, but that is after turn 20, in my opinion.
Okay. In very late game, I changed the EV. I know.
Yeah. EV is a strong unit mid-game, but later on it falls off. And you could still be playing it sound, by the way. You could technically still be doing this, even though it would cost you a lot of econ right now. But I often roll a lot turn 9 and go down to 40 golds when I play sound. Just
I waste too much economy here.
Yeah. So here, your econ is okay. This is an okay econ, 55 golds, level 5. This is acceptable. What I think you should have been doing here
is level up.
No, you do not need to level up. You need to play grass 5. Because right now your setup is grass. By playing grass 5 instead of grass 3, you actually open up one more grass portal.
Yeah,
so it
okay.
improves your chance as getting a grass portal, which you failed to do this game.
How do I open another grass portal? Playing grass 5?
Yes, exactly. So the portals
Why?
are generated depending on the units you have here and the levels of the synergies.
Oh, okay.
So if you have one more level of grass, then you have one more grass portal around.
So to play grass is very important to get 5 grass on Gyarados.
Yeah, I would play grass 5.
Okay.
And here, what you actually do is activated a lot of side synergies, which means that you will be generated one bug portal, one flying portal, and one sound portal, and none of these you really want. Whereas if you do not play sound and go for more grass and floral, you may be generating one floral portal and 2 grass portals, which may help you a lot more. So this is something to always think about.
Didn't know that. Okay.
It's actually a good thing that we do not go sound this game, because sound always loses to Gyarados. It is so weak early on. So you will have missed out a lot of opportunities here. So we've got the second Fossil Stone. Instantly, you know you want a second Leaf Stone, because that's the only stone that will be useful. So you should be looking out for a Seed. Seed should be your priority to make sure you are able to make use of this fossil. If you keep this fossil and never get a seed, then it will be a really tough situation for you. And here 2 grass portals only, so you get stolen that. And once you cannot get the grass portals, you take a really smart decision going for bugs. Bugs was really your best option here. So this portal was actually ideal. You still had a shot at getting a grass unit. You have 3 units that could have been grass. So here you can go whether for Scyther or this guy Heracross. I think you do the right choice by picking up Heracross just because grass has a lot more fighting units than flying ones, and they're better. So it's a lot better to play fighting grass than flying grass overall. So that's a good decision you're making.
But I have a Venonat there that is flying, and Zubat that is flying,
Yes.
flying and poison.
So you
So
go
maybe
bug flying? Is that what you mean?
bug flying poison, maybe with the cider. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. I'm
maybe.
only thinking about
I
the
do
play.
not play bug flying too much, but it is a good comb. It is definitely strong. So you could be trying that this game. This will probably be viable. The only issues with that is you have 2 fossil stones, and one of them is already a leaf stone. So we are kind of committed already, right?
Okay.
That would be the issue, but this is a plan that technically can probably work. I do not play the comp myself, so I wouldn't know, but so something that you should be thinking about right now is that the leaf stone needs to be on your tankier units, which means that actually Heracross is a very good holder of a leaf stone.
Okay.
And something that you do later on is giving this guy too many items so it can never hold the leaf stone anymore.
Yeah.
Which is probably a mistake, but I mean it didn't hurt too much. Other units can still hold the leaf stones just as well. Okay, so we're winning this round. This comp should be winning at this timing. You are actually having double unique. It makes perfect sense that you win. And here, pretty unfortunate components. Going for the special defense is actually the better choice in my opinion. But
Yeah, take it.
as long as you do not go for the faucet stone, the other 2 are pretty equal. It's either you want to make the Pokédoll that you will be doing later, or you want to make what is this called? Choice specs. Oh no, I mean the assault vest. Yeah, assault vest, way
Okay.
better. Assault vest is a good item too. So splashing it on your fighting unit to reduce the incoming magic damage. That is a good choice to make. So right now it is pretty awkward that your bugs actually block each other, but that's something that often happens with bugs. That is an issue with the comp. Lot of melee units that block off each other. Pretty unfortunate. So here we make a mistake, I think. So what do you think you should be going for here? And why do you go
The
for
seed.
attack speed? Seed,
The
yes.
seed.
The
Yeah,
seed
yeah,
because
yeah.
of this stone.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
can see why you would go for attack speed, but I think the seed has priority in this very specific round.
I
It's
didn't
already
play this comp so much bug, so I was confused.
yeah. The reason why you
Now I
do
say,
this
now
is
I say the.
yeah, no problem. I think that it's the second best choice. I can see why you would want X-rays here. Definitely, this is an okay choice. Giving it to Zubat is actually okay too, because the more auto attacks Zubat puts on, the more poison stacks it actually inflicts to your opponent. So giving Zubat attack speed makes sense. I would definitely go X-rays here. I think this item right here, the Suldu, it is actually one of the worst items in the games right now. In terms of stats, if you look at the wiki, this item is really bad right now. It was over the top in the past when you were not playing, and it has been nerfed to the ground because of that.
Okay.
So it scales way too slow. I think it takes something like more than 10 seconds to just be equal with choice specs. Maybe it was even 14 seconds or so. Like, it's insane how long it takes to just be equal with choice specs. So choice specs is pretty much always better.
I
So
make that item because I'm playing grass, and
yeah,
grass want
yeah, grass doesn't
a
die
long
too
fight.
fast.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
grass doesn't die too fast. So maybe with grass it is still acceptable. But the aqua egg is actually here. You can make an aqua egg, and I think it is a better option.
okay.
But uh, at least what's important is that you have an intention with this. You play this because it is grass and because it is tanky, and this I like. This means you are really thinking deeply about what you're doing, and that is a good thing. That just shows you are a better player than the average 100 1100 elo. You should climb with that attitude. You play TFT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I came from the same background at first, and I just skyrocketed on this game because getting a TFT background is actually insanely useful. So right now we have two options. First option would be to keep Bug 2, give the leaf stone to like Eevee at first and the second leaf stone to this guy, and we just go all with grass, and we can play some florals because this guy is floral, Eevee would be floral,
Mm.
and then we could probably replace this guy with Bulbasaur that also has poison. That would be an option, or we can go the bug route, which is what you choose. Do you choose the bug route because you fail to see the Eevee, or is it just a personal taste?
Mm, no, I don't know. I was so confusing here.
Yeah, it is not a comp you use to play. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, yeah.
I get that. Grass? Do you play grass often or not?
Yeah, grass, yeah,
Yeah,
but
okay.
not with
Not with
bug.
bugs. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So here, rather than seeing a grass bug comp, you should be seeing a grass fighting comp, I think. But the grass comp that is mostly played these days is the grass floral version. I get that. Grass fighting has fallen off in priority.
Yeah, with the Flora
Floral bugs, yeah.
legendary. Yeah.
But I think grass fighting are still fine. Maybe Crabhammer will still be playing grass fighting. By the way, this guy has always preferred this comp. So right now, what you could be doing to improve this comp is sell these two sound units and play the Turtwig and the Bulbasaur. And the reason for that is Sound 2 actually gives you nothing.
Okay.
Sound 2 gives you plus 1 AD per sound cast, which is mostly one cast per unit per round, right? So it gives you plus 2 AD over
No,
the
okay.
entire round. It is very little. While getting these two floral units would actually activate Grass 5, that's a lot more region, and activate Floral 4. No, sorry,
No,
Floral 3, Floral
three,
3, Floral
three.
3.
Okay.
But this is already something. It gives you one more unit that's also regions. So I think it would reinforce the comp right now. Sound 2 is pretty much a bait. Sound is only good once it's Sound 6 because of the the main mechanic.
Okay.
That's really really basic sound thing. Sound is only available when it's Sound 6. Otherwise, it's a bait mostly. I mean, sometimes you can play Sound 4 in some flying compositions because you go for Flying 8 and then you can afford Sound 4, but then it is not a sound comp, it is a flying comp.
Yeah, it is residual synergy.
Okay, so here we have a lot of possibilities. You go for the Pokédoll, it is an okay choice. I mean, I don't know if that's a Pokédoll that I would have slammed. Maybe depending on the comps, I would have gone for the Smoke Ball. Here you would have to check what people play. So what's really
Okay.
strong about the Smoke Ball in this meta? Do you know what it is?
What?
Do you know what it is that is so strong about Smoke Ball in this meta?
To avoid the attacks. No.
You flee once the ball activates. That's right, but it is not the only effect of the smoke ball. Smoke ball actually paralyzes the units that are in the smoke,
Ah,
which
okay.
means that the paralysis is useful against specifically flying in this meta, because a lot of flying comps are really obnoxious to deal with. And when the flying units are paralyzed, they cannot fly away or take off with 48.
Okay.
So one of the biggest flying counter would be the smoke ball, which is why you should be checking, are there any dangerous flying comp? And if there is one, then it is a smoke ball. If there is not, then Pokédoll is really good with fighting.
Okay.
Okay, so here you activate fighting. That's a really good decision. Of course, you would want to activate grass 5 as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So you've been going for level 8 and then level 9. You've been really playing the XP this game. And it is okay because you end up playing a lot of units because you need bugs. But usually a real grass composition plays at level 7. So this just indicates that you really wanted to try something else this game. You could probably have played this game level 8. You could start rolling right now, but if you do not know what unit you are looking for and what's your plan, it is always easier to go for just more levels and more units, right?
Yeah, and better units.
Yeah, I think that was probably why you were rolling here, right? If you do not know what you're doing, then leveling up is never a bad choice. Is that it? Or did you think
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have 80 HP, so I can lose this stage.
Yeah, you have time here. With 80 HP going level 9, you always have time to do this. I was always doing this when I began this game, going level 9, because it's so much easier than on TFT.
Now, when I reach level 9, it starts the problems.
Yeah.
I fail a lot.
I think if you do not know your comp, it is not something that you used to, this is completely fine. So here you're saved, it is a carousel with seeds, you recognize this, but if this carousel haven't had a seed, then you would have been screwed, right?
Yeah.
So you would have been punished for your earlier mistakes, but this is alright, we are saved here. We make the good decision to make a leaf stone, and unfortunately, because we give too much item to Heracross, we cannot make Heracross grass anymore, which is unfortunate. So nice decision, we go for grass 7 here definitely. We need to put this leaf stone on someone before the round starts, if possible. So we give this to Venonat, and we don't have time, which means that we might have lost this round to a stronger comp. We end up winning, but we could have lost here. And that's technically one turn of berry that we do not play. But that doesn't matter too much this game. That doesn't matter too much. Okay, here's Tiny evolves. Extremely good evolution. Really, really strong. Right now we just want to keep over 50 goals, play the PvE round turn 20, see what unit we get. We cannot really make anything fancy before we get a legendary. Just slowly level up, make sure we still have our gold turn 20, and we probably go level 9 after turn 20, even if we need to go slightly lower on Econ, which I think you did.
I did what? Sorry?
You spent some goals to go level 9 after turn 20, even though you didn't stay over 50 goals, which was the right thing to do.
Okay.
Just
I don't know.
spike.
We will see.
I remember
I don't remember.
This. I remember
Okay.
you doing this. You didn't need to go too far down, but even if you need to go down to 30 goals, I would still go level 9 after turn 20. This is when people get their legendaries, so everyone spikes, so you need to be spiking too. Even better than the opponents.
Okay.
Like, I think this game is rhythmed by the stages way more than TFT. TFT isn't as rhythmed with the specific stages as this game. This game is strong turn 10, strong turn 20, and the stage actually matters a lot.
Okay.
And on TFT, I don't feel the same way personally.
It's similar to the augments.
Yeah.
On the augments, you need to spike.
Yeah.
On the 3 augments.
Yes.
So
That's when you make your decisions too.
yeah.
But the feelings of the two games, I would say, are very different. I do not play the two games the same way at all. This is a trap that a lot of people fall in at first. Okay, so here we go for the grass bug portal. This is the better portal you could have taken. And here, if I activate the sound, you will hear me say, if it's Pheromosa, then Pheromosa over anything. And so here, there is two extremely strong units. There is the Shaman, but you do not have a Gracidia, nor do you have Pokemon
But
Beacon.
I don't have the
Yeah,
Pokemon Beacon to play.
you do not have its key items, and
Yeah.
Pheromosa is bug fighting. It synergizes with Heracross, so it's Pheromosa every day of the week, and you recognize the situation. You play the Pheromosa. It is extremely good. This is exactly what I wanted to see you do in this situation. So we do not hesitate too much. Great decision here. We set the Kakuna. We could have sold the Venonat too. Would have been pretty much the same. And here you hesitate with your components. I think you end up making the right choice. The other combinations would have been weaker because they are a lot more niche, the items that you could have made. These two items, then they are quite spammable in any comp. The scope lens is a lot less spammable than the fire gem, but it is more okay than something like a Fang. Fang is only really good in dark or with other crit items. So this is an extremely close round. Last patch you would have lost this one, but this patch you actually benefit from the Blood Moon. So you are able to beat this guy. And it is a turning point. So you get both the Burmy and the, I don't know which called Suadal. And here, I think you didn't recognize that, but you had an opportunity to go for Grass 7, Bug 6. Did you see that?
But I only have one bag there.
Sorry, can you?
No, I have two. Okay.
You could go for Bug 6. Actually, Floor 3 isn't that strong. So you can be selling Sky Plume and Turtwig, or even Turtwig and Bulbasaur. Put on the two grass bugs, and that's Bug 6, Grass 7.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of bugs that actually regen, and that can be really, really strong. I would actually sell the Bulbasaur
to change the items. Yeah.
Yes, the items need to go on Burmy.
Yeah, okay.
What you do is probably fine-ish too, because with the Bug 6 setup, you couldn't go for Fighting 6. So it is how it is. It's one or the other. But I would at least have tried this round. So I would never have sold the Metapod here. Even though Metapod is quite a weak unit, it opens you up a very specific comp that you cannot do otherwise. But Fighting 6 is another good choice. You lose some regen, but you gain some tankiness in other ways. So it's basically regen or just burst tanking. I really cannot tell which one is better against the wild comp. I really cannot tell. Fighting 6 isn't that strong. It's very strong against tankier comps because the lesser the damage, the stronger fighting is, right?
Okay.
If you block a flat amount of damage, and blocking a flat amount of damage from a lot of small ticks is actually extremely strong. But against really high ticks, I wouldn't know if it is really better than regen.
This item is good on that carousel.
Yes, this item is good in pretty much any comp. It gives you shield, which is useful on fighting units. So I would say this was a decent choice. I didn't play the item a lot because it's so new. So I think it's too early to really say how strong it is, but it is probably at least decent. We need a few more weeks to really know if this item is really strong or not. I think we will eventually get the data, but it is a good thing to at least be playing it, so you get a feel of the item. If you do not know if the item is strong or not, then you should just be trying it out.
Yeah, okay.
That's investment for your future. So you're getting a lot of Bunneries, which is pretty lucky. I don't think I would have sold the Metapod here, but you went for the fighting setup, which is also just fine. This is just playstyle. I'm used to playing grass, so I would have gone for the grass 7 playstyle, but that's because I'm me. And
Okay.
I do me, you do you. That's something that's perfectly fine and acceptable. I cannot say with certainty that this setup is weaker than the other or the other is stronger. I cannot tell. I just do not know. And right now it is pretty much we do.
I'm so confused here. I should change the items. I don't have poison here. I'm trolling here so much.
I think it is not an easy situation to be in. It is a really difficult game. I think the thing is, grass doesn't deal too well with burst anyway. I think that wild is actually a bad matchup for grass. I didn't play it too much, but I think it is not your best matchup. This thing it has just been changed a lot, so maybe it's a lot stronger than what people expect. What you should be doing here to at least try to get your win is rolling to get your units. If you wait
Yeah.
too much, you have a lot of HP, so you can still wait quite a bit. But if you wait too much, sometimes you do not have time to spend your resources. So you at least need to evolve Burmy, you at least need to evolve Swaddle, and you need to get a unit that replaces Bulbasaur to be able to give the items to Burmy.
Yeah, okay.
Can be fighting units, which you end up doing. It could be bug units. It could be another grass unit to keep grass 7. Here you can just go for grass 5 and improve bugs or improve fighting. There's a lot of things you can do. Right now, pretty unfortunate choice of items. So can you tell me why you go for the mana, the main ability?
Cause the middle item, I see his comp and I think
Yeah,
I don't get
that is what
the
I
much
want.
value
Yeah,
of that item.
that is what I wanted to hear exactly. He doesn't play CC, so the fluffy tail is pretty useless. So you definitely did the right choice. It's not the best item, but you give it to the best unit you could. Main generation on this guy is actually really strong. So here we go for the fighting setup. So one of the reasons why the fighting setup is a bit awkward is, as you can see, you have a lot of melee units, so your clones actually cannot fight.
Okay.
So maybe you should... Actually, yeah, there's nothing you can do. He's making a line, you are making a line, so these two units are always staying here. That is unfortunate, and this is why maybe another setup with more ranged unit would have been better. But that is something that I personally didn't think about while watching you, so it's not an easy thing to think about when you are not used to the comp. And no, I will be honest, I don't think there is too much thing you can do besides rolling and hoping your units evolve. So good to have this one. Put on the items. Do you know all the berries yet or not?
No.
It takes a while to get used to the berries. I do not know all of them either, but some combinations are useful to know. So one of the combination over here, do you see my mouse, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you have the Aguav berry that gives you
Okay.
half of your HP at the cost of getting confused. So you want to combine it either with this berry or this berry, because this one cleans the confusion and this one cleans any CC. So you can actually get the 50% HP back without the drawback. So it is a really useful combination to be aware of. This thing
I
right
use
here,
it randomly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You will see.
I've seen you do. I've seen you do this. It is fine when you do not know the berries and you do not have time. But this is why you should learn to recognize the combination. So this
Okay.
berry, Aguav, wants to go with one of these two to clean the CC. These two
Okay.
berries that look quite aggressive with spikes and all, they actually give you offensive stats, so they are to be put on your carries. I think this one is attack speed and this one is probably like AP or AD.
Okay.
So these go to your carries. This one I do not remember what it does. I don't think I use it often. This one gives you spike shield. So the more auto attacks you take, the more bleed you give to your opponent. And so it actually combines pretty well with the other berries that give you armor and the other berries that give you protect.
Yeah, magic resist. Okay.
So these two you do not have here, but you could combine it with the Oran berry that gives you a shield. So more shield with the spiky shield means you actually get more procs. So these
Okay.
two berries would combine decently. All of these are pieces of crap unless you play against ice comps. This is pretty much just 20 HP. Unless you play against normal comp, this is pretty much just 20 HP. So these you can just put on random units to reinforce them. But you have a few combinations. So Aguav plus these two together, and these two together on a carry. These are actually decent combinations that you should learn to recognize as soon as possible. It takes a while. There's a lot of berries. You do not even get every single berries each game. So if you want to learn the berries fast, play Tropius. Tropius generates a ton of berries.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, it's earlier I was wondering if this guy was available because you had a really nice fighting plus poison
Yeah.
angle, and this guy would have allowed that. So again, not that easy if you do not know all of the units. But once you've played a fair share of fighting games and poison games, then you know this guy exists, and you think about at least watching. So here you go for the Gracidia. Can you explain me why?
For more damage is
More
the only item that give me damage.
that gives you damage. Yes.
Uh,
Okay. Against Wild, that is all about burst. I think the shiny charm holds a lot of value,
okay.
and there is high chances that this item, the green orb, is OP. Because
Okay.
when it says give you 5% health per second on adjacent unit, it is not adjacent unit on the same row. It is actually adjacent unit in every direction.
Okay.
I have noticed that in game. I think it's uber broken. And I don't know if my eyes deceived me or not, but if that is the case, this item is uber broken. So abuse it while it exists. I think we will need some times to make sure. Maybe I'm telling you big shit right here, but I think I've seen it regen an entire board even more than Grass 7 will do. That's probably an extremely good item. But you would be using heal over heal, so regen over grass isn't that good. So you pretty much give this list stone to the best unit here, which is this one. That's a good choice to make. Boosting in AoE your strongest unit. Again, perfectly fine. Smart of you to be playing this guy for shield even though it doesn't give you any synergy. It is unfortunate that it dies so fast, but that is just how it is. In this situation, against a tankier comp, it would have been a good choice. Against this specific comp, it is not really. So I don't think there is many more to say. Maybe we can discuss about your choice of item here. I think the item here is pretty obvious. You're playing against Wild, you take the armor. This one is a no-brainer in my opinion. What's happening? Is it paused? Okay, it's extremely slow. This is a bug that I know. It just
I
definitely
pick
slowed down.
the tanky item.
Yeah, definitely. This is pretty much a no-brainer, but you get to evolve your unit. This is fine. We should be rolling right now. Try to evolve the Burmy if you have time. maybe you had time. You technically have enough resources to evolve it on a lucky streak. You should be rolling like crazy. You should be rolling like crazy here to try and evolve this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Or playing all of your berries. But I mean, the last round ended up being extremely close. If these two units had been able to fight from the beginning, maybe
I try.
things would have played off differently. I don't know.
I try to save some berries because if I win this,
Yeah,
I need more berries
yeah.
to
If you win
to beat him.
this round
Yeah.
because of the berries and then you do not have more berries, then
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't change a thing. But if these berries make you win this round and then you have time to roll the Burmy, maybe the Burmy is also a win condition.
Okay.
So I do not have enough game knowledge to tell you if this guy alone would have made a difference, but just notice that this guy has fully evolved Rosaluna, so by now this unit,
Okay.
like, he has an extremely strong board. You need not be ashamed of losing this one. You are actually extremely close to turning this out. Actually, I would have thought you would win this round, but
Entei wins me.
yeah, didn't see Entei just resurrecting. Does good items, and then this guy. Well, it is overall a very good game. A very good game. So you have a lot of the basics. I think what can be better here is our economy management, particularly in the earlier rounds. But that is something that will come with time because the economy on this game is played way differently than it is on TFT. When I
Yeah.
switch from one game to the other, my mind completely switches, and if I do a lot of econ on this game. I play a lot more aggressively on TFT. I think the two games plays off really differently. So if you play the two at the same time, it's really confusing. Personally find it really confusing to play both of the game. This is why I recently completely stopped TFT. To be fair, I find this game. I love this game a lot more just because more roles, it's more dynamic, more variance. I love the regions and everything. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
more
Yeah. I,
invested.
I like it too
I'm
much
more
more than
yeah.
TFT.
I'm much more invested here. If when I play LOL now, I just play the basic game. So I would advise at least until you get a really good feeling of the game, and I would say it's econ. I would advise, if you didn't do this yet, to one trick a comp for some time until
Okay.
you get I think at the beginning you one trick a comp, you get a really good feeling of the comp that eases your understanding of the mechanics of the game. And then once you get bored, or once you get a really good understanding of said comp, then you can just switch out to the next comp and over and over and over. And I think you would probably need like 3 to 4 comps that you are really good with, that plays with ideally different components, right? So you can
Yeah.
switch between these comps depending mostly on the regions and the component you get. Maybe even like 4 to 5 is fine. You don't need to know how to play every synergy in the game to be good at the game, honestly. I never play flying, and even though it's meta, I can still win a lot of games. I never play water. I should probably try some water this patch because I've played it in the patch, but I never play normal. There's a lot of synergies that I just never play. Ground poison, I've never played this thing. Dragons I very rarely play, but I can get really good games with just fire, dark, sound, grass. These are
Yeah.
enough. So play
Okay.
play whatever you like. To be honest, something that helps is just watching which synergies have units that you like, and you just enjoy playing the units, right?
Okay.
So the last tip that I want to give you, that one is really important, but I think you're already doing this, so that's a really good thing. You always need to be playing with intention. So that is basically the same as on TFT. You should never be rolling without knowing what you are rolling for
Okay.
and why
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are rolling rather than leveling up. You should never be leveling up if you do not know why you are leveling up rather than rolling, and always keeping an eye on the rounds to make sure you do not screw up your recon right before a PvE round. So always know what you are rolling for, what you are leveling up for, and always play with intention. A lot of players play on autopilot, and that costs them a lot of
But
points.
you need more knowledge
Yeah,
than I have of this compu
yeah.
to
Okay,
do
so
that.
grass, basically, I've made a grass guide a while ago. I do not even remember if I did one recently, but basically, the strongest power spike of grass is grass 7. So the very basic of the comp is activating grass 5 for Gyarados, and then you basically just XP until you get grass 7.
Okay.
Usually I drop down to like 40 golds to go grass 7 one turn earlier, and then you start chain winning in mid game just because grass is this strong.
Yeah.
Usually in the
With
early
Flora.
with Flora in
Yeah.
the early game,
Yeah.
because the floral unit actually has a lot of stats. So in the early game, when people haven't scaled yet, it actually clears board sometimes all by itself.
Yeah.
And once I'm level 7, I actually slow roll, because if you look at the grass unit, they have a lot of rares and epics, but mostly rares. And to roll these units, you actually need level 7 rather than level 8.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Key unit to be looking for that I see people skipping and I do not understand why. You need to get some Budoos and make a Roselia as soon as possible. And so if you get any Dittos, you should always be keeping these Dittos for Budoo.
Okay.
Because the difference between Budoo and Roselia is night and day, because Budoo is an egg and Roselia is floral.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it is floral poison. Which means having poison 3...
With Bulbasaur,
yeah,
okay.
having poison 3 in this comp is really useful. And unfortunately, now to activate poison 3 with grass unit, you need specific additionals. So there's 2 of them. One uncommon and one rare. If you spot them in the game, then you should be going for this poison setup. One of them is Peras. And the really good thing about Peras is that it's grass, poison, so you can activate poison 3. And it is also bug.
Yeah.
So it can be played besides Burmy.
Okay.
The unfortunate side is that Paras plus Burmy means 2 less levels of floral. But that is a choice that you can be making depending on your items. If you have good Burmy items, then you can be playing this setup, right?
Okay.
So level 7, you roll level 7 until you are pretty much on 20, sometimes even 21, 22, you evolve your units. And then when the late game comes and you need scaling, you just go level 8. You rarely go level 9. If you do not have poison 3, then your level 8 could be a poison unit. Ghastly is a really good one.
Okay.
I end up playing Ghastly a lot of the time just because the unit is strong. But that can mostly be any poison unit. Anything really. You can actually have a lot of... depending on the units and the additional, you can actually pick up a lot of different units. And I usually keep my berries for the late game. Grass isn't a comp that scale all too well outside of Shamin. Always look for a Gracilia and Nomicon Shamin if you can have this. This is the very best legendary grass unit. If you get something that isn't Shamin, then your comp will be weaker. That's just facts.
Yeah, it's better picking Flora Legendary than grass. Okay.
Sometimes, in very specific situation, when you play against like Articuno Flying Comms or something, then Celebi can actually be useful. So you play Celebi, and when Celebi casts his spell, it actually clears the CC on the entire board. So you give the Fluffy Tail to this guy, so it never gets CC'd, and it frees... You come from board-wide freezes from Articuno or some poison or fire shenanigans when your wall composition is burned. So it is actually something you can keep in mind.
One question.
Yes.
You try grass with Snorlax?
I tried sometimes, but it is not my priority. I mean, it is funny and it is not weak by any means. Snorlax becomes a monster, so if you play with some monsters like I do not remember the names.
Trico, maybe.
Yeah, there's a unique grass monster that I cannot get my... Carnivine. It's Carnivine.
Okay, yeah.
If you get the Carnivine, then you can get for the Trico plus this setup. There are some regionals too.
Tangela,
yes. But Tangela it's a regional, and I don't think it's the only one. There are some additionals too. There's one grass ghost monster. I do not remember.
Phantom,
Yeah,
Phantom 2.
Phantom, exactly. So there are actually a lot of grass monster units, and in this situation, maybe you can go for grass monster with monster 6,
Okay.
and that may not be bad at all. And the thing is, you would be playing monster in this setup, but maybe because you want to eat so many berries, Tropius would actually be better, and you just play monster 4. That's things that you would need to try. The thing is, you do not know if the guy will be available before you
Yeah.
make your unique. So at the end of the day, I will still pick Tropius because Tropius would be good in any setup rather than Carnivine right now. I think Carnivine will need a buff before it's playable, but that is mostly my opinion. Maybe I
And
just didn't play it enough.
I see that Maractus is so strong too on Brass.
I played a lot of Maractus in the
Yeah.
past. I think right now, because of the berry generation, Tropius might be stronger, but I depending on the components actually. So Maractus, it's very special because it scales with armor. So if you can give it a spiky, a rocky helmet, sorry, it is a very good unit, and then it becomes weak to burns and to poison. So it is actually a unit that you want to be making a fluffy tail for.
Yeah, and
So
TCC. Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
fluffy tail plus a rocky helmet most of the time. That's the two main items of the guy, and then you played it. You play it beside some Turtwig that is also ground, and you can have ground 2 activated. That gives it somewhat more stats because it survives so long. It can actually make use of this. So it's a decent unit. I would say I wouldn't say it is the best one, but it is up there. It's floral too, which is precious. So yeah, you should be trying it to get a feel of it if you get the good
And
items.
one more question.
Yes,
If you would play Shining,
yes.
it's better to focus on the evolve item or Pokenomicon, because I think it's better playing Pokenomicon over the evolve
The
item.
grassy deer.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think so. Yeah, maybe if you cannot afford both, then Nomicon is probably better. You are right about this one. I will still play
Okay.
both of them, but the Nomicon is actually so strong. Maybe it depends on the comp, but know that the burns also reduce healing, which it didn't used to do in the past. It is even stronger. I mean, no, not on Nomicon. I'm saying big shit here. Nomicon already wounds you, so it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
But against a lot of region compositions, a lot of fire plays humans. If
Because
there are grass composition and things, then it is a really good items.
I say that because when it evolves, it only gains 100
Yeah,
HP, no,
it's
no more.
it's 100 HP, and most of the time it's not getting hit. So yeah, so like most of the time evolving it doesn't even really matter too much compared with the Nomicon. Yes.
Okay.
So if you have to make a choice, yeah, definitely make this one. Usually you can get the two because there are two priority items, but that's just the 100 HP. Sometimes they matter in an extremely close matchup, but most of the time they don't. Here in this game, they wouldn't have mattered against the burst of the wild comp anyway. Okay, great stuff, man. Thank you for your time. I will make great content after this. Do you agree that I put this on YouTube?
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
perfect. So I wish you a great day, and I will see you later on the game, probably.
Okay.
What am I doing? I need to go on Discord. Yeah, okay. Then bye, man. And that was a really great session. I was thinking about going for coaching for a while, and this actually played out really well. So I was Jan Michel True, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, people.